So here on Marketing Media Money, we have Shane Smith, the founder of Vice, and Sir Martin Sorrell, the CEO of WPP. Welcome, gentlemen.
Wonderful to be here with you, Charlie.
Always lovely to see
Moonlighting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Talking of moonlighting, WPP are doing some interesting things with Vice right now. Tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing together.
Well, it started, how many years ago we took our stake in Vice?
7.
Is it 7 years ago?
6, 7.
Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. So we took our stake in Vice. We originally had about 10% of Vice. We haven't sold a share, but we've been diluted down a little bit to about 8.5%. And we're very proud of that investment decision. In fact, we talked about it in our session this morning about my initial reluctance was probably, well, no, disbelief, but now I'm a true believer in Shane's understanding of millennials and centennials and youth. And now we're about to announce an even stronger relationship on the trading side, where we're going to use the insights that Shane and his colleagues have and his agencies have, his data and content, and building a platform across all the platforms that you have. You've got 50 or so platforms, not just Facebook and Google.
Yeah, so we're announcing here with you a deal that we're doing with WPP, first with Kantar for research globally, and then also a deal that will do all of our platforms globally, TV, mobile, online, worth hundreds of millions of dollars over the next few years to fund our growing sort of experiment with 3-screen, 1-screen OTT with innovative monetization. And we're here at Dmexco announcing it because we love it and we're excited and we're making our plan.
Shane very graciously gave up an even bigger opportunity to interview an even more successful and more powerful than yours truly to come here to Dmexco and Cologne. So I'm very grateful to him because he had bigger fish to fry, and I'm a very small fish.
And so, does this mean you give first look to your clients with Vice? Is that basically one of the advantages?
Not just first look, that we use the data that Vice has, and we use the insights that Vice has and the content that they have to build relationships with consumers across all the platforms that Vice uses. So this is an all-embracing, it's not just first look. I mean, it's trying to innovate and initiate ideas. It's something that we'd love to do more with Google and with Facebook, to be honest with you. But they seem to be, I think, less so with Google, to be fair. I think Google have been a little bit more proactive recently, maybe because some of the regulatory issues they've had to deal with. But Facebook, certainly because of their success, I think become a little bit more difficult to deal with. So finding another force, it's not a third force yet, but it's nearly. And he likes to cause chaos in established systems, as you know.
And do you think brands themselves need to know a lot more about millennials and the sort of viewers and communities that you bring together?
Well, I think we just had the McTaggart lecture in the UK, and I said what I thought was pretty benign, which is yes, the millennials are not catered to enough as a group. They're now the largest cohort. We're not paying enough attention to them, and that seemed to cause a lot of unrest. But I think we both agree that millennials are the future and that they're underserviced, and we have to create more content and do a better job going after them.
I mean, Shane's genius, if I can put it like that, was that he understood, for example, that millennials and centennials are interested in news. The BBC or the New York Times or the Guardian or whoever might have believed they're not, but they are. The question is how it's presented and how it's done. And what's really interesting about Vice is that it's changed the way that established news channels and established media outlets actually promote the news, develop the content. So he's changed the face of news and the consumption of news pretty much across the globe, because how many countries now are you operating in?
So we have 34 offices, we're doing 58 countries.
Yeah, so 58, not quite as many as WPP, about half, but getting there.
120 countries do you own it now?
130, including the last one being Iran.